Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports WNBA Picks and Predictions for Sunday, July 13th, 2025. We're looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, got to take a look at the previous day's results. On the day, we go 4-3, bringing our season record to 154 and 144. I'm going to recap these games real quick, then we'll get on to the picks for tomorrow. Might look a little weird because we do have the Valkyries on both the winners and the losers side, but once Asia Wilson was announced as playing, I took the Valkyries. They went all the way up. I think it closed at 6.5. Not 100%. I know I got 5.5, gave that away in the Discord, and it hits, but we did lose the plus 1.5 as the Aces win 104 to 102. That was a lot of points. All right, so our first winner, it was the Sky plus 10.5. Forget the points. They win the game outright, 87 to 81. Lots of scoring in the first half, almost no scoring in the second half. So the Sky plus 10.5 hits. Camila Cardoso, first game back at home, 17 points, 15 boards. You had Angel Reese, 19, 11, and 4. Rachel Banham, 12, 3, and 5. Then Ariel Atkins dropped 27 points, 12 of 21 from the field. She only shot 2 3-pointers. That is where she's going to have to live, is in that mid-range. That is her bread and butter. Next winner, Valkyries 5.5 over 159.5. So we got bad value at the Valkyries plus 1.5 after Asia was ruled in playing. So we took them at plus 5.5. The over-under we got a horrible line on. It dropped all the way down to 154.5. Then once Asia was announced, it bumped back up to 156.5. That didn't matter. They scored 206 points in this game. Both teams shot over 50% from the field, 52% for the Valkyries, 55% for the Aces. Combined, they made 50 free throws. That is 5-0 out of 59 attempts. Decent amount of offensive rebounds. A perfect game for the turnovers department. Only 19 total turnovers. That is what we should be seeing from the WNBA. Not these games where it's 35 to 40 turnovers. Keep it low, keep it high scoring. That's the way it should go. Then the other thing we hit was Angel Reese PRA over 31.5. I think she landed on 35. Let me double check. She landed on 34. So she did really good in the first half. Then the second half, it was kind of the Camila Cardoso show for the rebounds. She grabbed 15 boards. So it looks like with Cardoso back in the lineup, the Angel Reese rebounds are dead. Because I think they were set at 13.5 for this one. She only gets 11. But she hits the PRA, so we're chilling. Our losers, with the under 159.5 in the Lynx and the Sky game. This was dead right from the get-go. They scored 52 points in the first quarter, followed by 49 points in the second. Then they only scored 39 and 28 in the final 2 quarters. So if they wouldn't have gone as chaotic in the first 2 quarters, we would have been okay. But they went nuclear, so the under is no good as they scored 168. Then we had the Valkyries plus 1.5. A bit unlucky as Asia Wilson was ruled playing. I don't know why they brought her back, but I guess their logic was we can't afford to lose basketball games, and they needed her as she dropped 34 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 assists. That is why she's the best player in the world. And then when she was ruled as playing, it basically killed our Chelsea Gray PRA over 21.5. She had 15. 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from deep. Really didn't play that well, but again, once Asia was ruled as playing, this bet was basically dead in the water. Shout out to Jackie Young, though, who went for 30 points, and then Jewel Lloyd, who went for 15. So it appears, though, I chose the wrong guard. All right, that's the recap. Let's get on to the picks for tomorrow. All right, first game we're looking at, it is the Dallas Wings and the Indiana Fever. I'm going to take the road team, the Wings, plus 10.5. Also going to rock the over, 174.5. This over has already moved 2.5 points. So people are betting this upwards a lot. Unfortunately, it looks like we have the return of Arike Gumbawale. I really wish we didn't because I'm taking the Wings, and that inevitably is not going to go well for me. I like fading Arike, but I simply cannot lay 10.5 points with the Fever at home. Neither of these teams have really been playing fantastic basketball of late. Been really inconsistent from both. We had that one game at home for the Wings where they scored like nearly 100 points on the Mercury with a bunch of rookies. Then they got blown out on the road. Then you had the Fever, who just beat some quality opponents at home. Then they also looked horrible at home. Caitlin Clark doesn't look good. You really don't know what to expect. The Wings, 6-15 on the year. Last time they played this Fever team, they lost to them by 8 points, but that was without Caitlin Clark and without Arike Gumbawale. They are coming directly off of an 11-point loss to the Sky. That is not ideal. They shot just 36% from the field. With Arike back, I'm really hoping she actually plays well. As much as I dog on her, maybe her injury was the reason she wasn't playing good basketball. She's only shot above 50% from the field one time this entire season. Once. With her back, maybe that opens up Paige for a bit more shots. Paige dropped 27 points alone the last time she played this Fever team, so she should be in for a pretty good game. Fever, 10-10 on the year. They just beat the Dream by 17 points at home, despite being down at halftime. That might be because of injuries. Ryan Howard left. Brianna Jones fouled out. But either way, a 17-point dub is a 17-point dub. This is their last home game before a small road trip, and then you have the All-Star break. Caitlin's playing horrible basketball recently, and they're playing her on a weird minute restriction. I do not want any part of laying double digits with the team when their point guard is playing like ass. Give me the Wings. Give me the over. Next game we got, it is the Atlanta Dream and the New York Liberty. I'm going to take the Dream plus the 4.5, even though they did just get destroyed by the Fever. Also, going to take the over, 166.5. The Dream, they are 12-8 on the year, but they've struggled recently. They've lost 4 out of their last 6 games straight up. Ryan Howard, she is not on the injury report. It looks like she's 100% and she's going to play. I was expecting to see her and Natasha Cloud on the injury report, but neither of them are on there. So it looks like we're going to be full strength minus Jonquel Jones for this matchup. They've already played this New York team. They should be 2-0 on the season. Instead, they are 1-1. They choked the road lead massive in the fourth quarter. They still covered that game, though. I think they went into the fourth up like 7 or 8 points. They ended up losing by 3 or 4. So they still covered the spread. They just probably should have won the game outright. Liberty, 13-6 on the year. They just had their first cover ATS in their last 10 games. They still don't look exactly good without Jonquel Jones on the court. It is quite literally just Brianna Stewart and Sabrina versus the other team. Their defense has been struggling massively. They are, I think, third last in terms of overall points in their last 10 games. If the Dream can actually make their jump shots, not get injured, and stay out of foul trouble, I think they can win this game outright. Give me the Dream plus 4.5. Give me the over 166.5. Next game we got, this is my least favorite game on the schedule by a million miles. Connecticut Sun, Los Angeles Sparks. I'm reluctantly going to take Los Angeles at home minus the 11.5. Also going to rock the over 161.5. I've been fading the Suns recently, and they keep on screwing me over. Eventually, they have to not cover a big spread. I just can't. I can't take them plus 11.5. They're so bad at basketball. Unfortunately, so are the Sparks. They're 6-14 on the year. They're 1-8 straight up at home. 1-8, and they're laying 11.5. That is egregious. The Sun, 3-17 on the year. They've covered their last 2 games, and one of them was an outright win against the Storm. They are still without Marina Mabry. She's being, I think, held out until after the All-Star break. They've been getting relatively solid production from their rookies / their entire bench, but it's really just Tina Charles doing all the work down low. Somehow this is their first time playing the Sparks the entire season. I guess that makes sense considering it's LA to Connecticut. But either way, they should struggle down low. The Sparks have serious size with Dearica Hamby and Azrae Stevens. The Connecticut Sun really don't. It's Tina Charles, and then you have a bunch of rookies. Sparks, they are not playing good basketball. They should 100% fire their head coach. But they need this win very badly. Like I said, they're 6-14 on the year. This team has way too much talent on the roster to be 6-14. You have Kelsey Plum, De'Erica Hamby, and Azurá Stevens. You can also throw in Rakia Jackson, but I really don't think Rakia is that good. Once this team gets Brink back, they're going to be more solid defensively. But come on, how are you 6-14 with the LA Sparks lineup? If the Mystics can be 10-10, you should at a minimum be like 11-9. This shit is egregious. Anyway, if there was ever a time for the Sparks to get a 30-point blowout home win, it has to be right now. And if they don't, they need to fire Lynn Roberts because she sucks. Final game of the night before player props, Washington Mystics heading out west, taking on the Seattle Storm. I'm going to take the Storm -6. Also going to go with the under of 159.5. Two teams who have kind of been punching above their weight the entire season. The main angle for me here is the Mystics are very bad on the road, and the Storm are very good at home. So I will take the better roster in a home spot against the Mystics. Mystics 10-10 on the year. They've won 2 in a row against the Sky and the Aces, both in very close games, winning by 2 points. This is their first time playing the Storm the entire year. They should struggle massively with the size and just overall experience down low. You have Nneka Ogwumike, who is top 10 all-time in a bunch of categories, including points. You have Ezzy, who is a beast. Gabby Williams, who one does not fuck with because she's a dog. And then you have, on the other side, the Mystics, Brittany Sykes. She just had her first solid game in a long time. I really don't know if she's going to be able to do that back-to-back. She was struggling massively for what seemed to be almost a month straight. Then you have the 2 rookies. Kiki Iriafen has not been playing well. Sonia Citron has kind of dipped in her last few games. The Seattle Storm defense is very good at home. I think the rookies are going to have a serious problem getting downhill and to the paint against this very sound Seattle Storm defense. Storm 13-8 on the year. They have not covered a game in their last 2, both against the Sun, one of which they lost outright. Prior to that, though, they beat the Dream on the road and they beat the Liberty on the road. So it would appear as though they just kind of forgot how to play basketball against the worst team in the league. Not going to read too much into it. I'm going to lay the number at home against a team they should 100% beat, and I'm going to take the under 159.5. Final thing we're looking at here, we're going to take 2 player props. I was going to take 3, but I just couldn't take Sabrina again. And then I really didn't want to take anybody on Atlanta after we lost Ryan Howard and Brianna Jones. So I'm not going to. I'm going to take Paige Beckers, PRA over 26.5. Then I'm going to take Gabby Williams, PRA over 22.5. Paige versus Caitlin Clark. This is their first time actually playing against each other. Their teams have played multiple times, but they've never actually been on the court at the same time. So Arike Ogunbowale is supposed to play, so that is why this number is down a little bit. Paige touched like 29.5 PRA about a week and a half ago. That's a lot for a true rookie. This is her first time playing Caitlin, like I said. Previously, she dropped 27 points, and that was with Ari guarding her. Now you have Caitlin starting the game, who is a much worse defender. Paige should be able to score as much as she wants. As long as Arike is not taking 25 shots, Paige should be able to get basically any shooting attempt she wants. 26.5 is simply too low. I could easily see Paige going for 25 plus again. So give me Paige, PRA over 26.5. Then you got Gabby Williams. This one's basically an auto play, PRA over 22.5. She's been fantastic this entire year. She does it in literally all categories. You cannot put more emphasis on points, rebounds, and assists because she does it all. She's hit this number 3 games in a row, and she should basically be on the court the entire game. It's only a 6-point spread, so she should be playing basically 40 minutes. She's great on the defensive end as well. 2.6 steals a game. That leads to easy baskets and assists and transition. So give me Gabby Williams, PRA over 22.5. All right, that's going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate you guys watching and tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.